Hi, welcome to Simply Made Fancy, and I'm Ruth Angelina, and this is my mom, Victoria, and we're in the kitchen together because this is Dominican style today. Well, actually, a little bit of a twist. We're making Dominican tacos with plátanos, and my mom is here to be my sous chef, and she's helping me out, and she's gonna show us a trick on how to do it authentically, how to open your plátanos the Dominican way.
Pelar los plátanos al estilo dominicano. Se cortan las dos puntas y en vez de usar el cuchillo se pela así y sale muy bien.
Okay, so here's the tip. You want your green plantains or plátanos warm so that you're able to open them easier. And then she kind of showed you the little trick. You slice white in the two ends and then you slice and you peel off. That's why it makes it easier. Because let me tell you people, Dominicans eat a lot of plátanos. So we have to be quick with them. I'm not as good at it because I don't eat them as often. But my mom does and she knows how to open it. So we're gonna put them through running water, warm water, so it can be easier to peel. And what we're going to do, let me just tell you, we're gonna take the plátano and we're going to put it in boiling water and we're gonna make like kind of like a mash, what we call mangu in Spanish. And it's, you know, you put it in the boiling water, then it'll get tender and then you'll mash it. And with that mashed plantain or mangu, then you're gonna create your tortillas for your tacos. So while we're waiting for the plantains to be a little bit warmer so that they're easier to peel, I'm gonna show you some of the other ingredients that we're gonna use. Here I have salami or salchichon, if that's what we call it in the Dominican Republic. And you can get it at Costco, people. So I get it at Costco. My mom actually brought this from uptown Manhattan, where all the Dominican grocery stores are. So we had this. It was much larger, but we had a little bit of a sample yesterday, so it's not all full. But this is the brand that we have bought, and there's a couple of other ones, but we really highly recommend the Indubeca. That's the one that we really like. So that's what you're gonna do. And then the other thing is queso frito. So it's fried cheese, and it's a special cheese that you can fry. And I actually did get this at Costco, and it comes in 2 packs, and I gave my mom one, and this was the one that we have. So it's called queso de freír, and this is the twin pack. And that's what you use, and you just slightly fry it, and it just creates like a little bit of a crispy top, and then you can put it on your tacos. So this is what's gonna go on our Dominican taco. So we're gonna do, instead of meat, we're gonna do salami, and instead of like a cheddar cheese or Mexican kind of grated cheese, we are going to do queso frito with it. And we're also gonna add a couple of other toppings. Let's see how creative we get and what we have in the fridge. Now I'm going to salt the boiling water so that we can put the plátanos inside and start the process. It's just like a spoonful of, I use pink Himalayan sea salt. You can use whatever you want. And now we're gonna add the plátanos in there, like about 20 minutes. Just as long as it's nice and tender, and then you can mash it really well. Just think of like potatoes. It's almost the same consistency. Okay, so I just learned a little trick that I never knew. I don't know why and how, you know, I'm just gonna get my Dominican card revoked because I didn't know this. Well, my mom just told me that after about 10 minutes of the plátanos boiling in the water, to add some cold water so that it can maintain a color that is just more pleasing, like a yellowish color, instead of just becoming all dull. So I'm going to try that. while the plantains are boiling in the water, we're gonna get started on the other things that are gonna go on this Dominican taco, and it's the queso frito. I'm trying to use the least amount of pots and pans, so that's why, and since it's gonna take a while for this to get cooking, so I'm only gonna use my cast iron skillet, and I'm going to do the queso frito first, and it's just lightly, like some people fry it like with more oil. In my family, we don't. We try to be very careful with fried things, try to be more healthy conscious. So I'm just going to use my cast iron skillet and spray a little bit of the oil on there and kind of shallow fry my cheese. After my cheese is done, I'll set it aside, and then the same pan I will do my onions, because of course we need some like nice caramelized onions for our Dominican tacos. It's grilled caramelized onions are very big in Dominican Republic, so we need to have that. So let's get started. I already put the heat, so it's going a little bit. I'm gonna cut it and slice it so you guys can see kind of like the right consistency or thickness that you want for your fried cheese. Here we go. Cold water in the plátanos. Let's see. And you're supposed to look at the color change and get like nicer. Okay, so I was able to tell that it did kind of like brighten up instead of like looking dull, like how my mango always looks like, because I didn't know this trick, but it's looking good. Now time for the cheese. So lightly oiled surface. My mom also said that you can use butter, just like oil the butter the pan, and that works well as. So this is the perfect one. You want it to look just like this. If you've never had fried cheese, I suggest that you run to the supermarket and do this. So this is exactly what you want. This like crispiness. Look at that. Going, I'm just gonna do my onion so I can have it ready for the pan, and I just have a mandolin and I'm just gonna do some thin slices. Okay, so now to caramelize the onions, we're going to put some oil. It's about a tablespoon or two. And then we're going to put the onions, and the secret to caramelizing is vinegar. We're gonna put some vinegar in it as well. Oh, and you need a pinch of salt also. I'm gonna let it, so just a little bit. I'm gonna probably just put that much.
Así.
A little bit more. The pan is a little too hot. Okay. And then just like a pinch of salt, and that's it. Just like a few minutes, maybe one or maybe like 2 or 3 minutes. And we're gonna check on our plátanos and make sure that they're ready, and drain them and then mash them. So now that this is all clear, I'm gonna start chopping up the salami, slicing the salami, not chopping up, and then adding it to the pan with a little bit of oil as well. So now time for the salami. We're gonna slice it and then put it in a pan. Like I said before, it's going to be a shallow fry. We don't want to deep fry because this is very fatty. And you're gonna want almost the same size as the cheese. So that's what you're gonna want. And just a little bit of oil on the pan is fine. This is ready to go. You see that beautiful color? Why didn't I know this about the cold water? so this is what my mom told me, that some people reserve a lot more of the water and use that to mash their mangu, but she doesn't do that because it gets hard. What she does is that she gets a little bit more of cold water, fresh water, and that's what she mashes her plantains with. But you still want to leave, not completely drain all the water, just leave a little bit of it in the pan. Okay, so we're gonna need some butter. So I'm gonna cut about 2 tablespoons. This is, I hear my baby, he's crying. My dad is supposed to be the babysitter while we're cooking. Maybe he's not doing such a good job. Okay, so this is for like maybe a large to medium plátanos, and that's what we're doing. And this is about 2 tablespoons of butter. I'm just gonna cut it and let it go there.
Ahora un poquito del agua fría de la nevera.
And now some cold water from the fridge. My mom is gonna tell me when.
Que se mantenga fresco y
So that was about, I would say like a 1/4 cup, maybe even a little less of cold water. Another thing you want to add to the mangu is this, it's oil, just a little bit, and then you continue to mash it. Now we're not making an exact mangu where it's a little bit more creamier and softer because we're going to use it to make that tortilla. So we're not making it as soft as it would be for a regular mangu. But right now at this stage, you can take that and eat it just the way that it is with the salami and the queso frito if you didn't want to make it into a taco like we are. But this is a typical, like, kind of like a brunch lunch meal for Dominican Republic, and this is what they eat. Some people say that it's breakfast. It's not breakfast. We do not eat this for breakfast, but we do eat it for like it's a heavier lunch. We do heavy lunches and really, really light breakfast, like maybe just a coffee and bread for breakfast, and then these we eat heavy for lunch. And then for dinner, it's a little bit heavy, but not as grease induced as this dish is. I'm gonna finish up the salami, and then it's almost done. We just gotta make these tortillas. Another quick tip that my mom taught me, and I forgot to do it when I was peeling this salami, but I grew up doing this. When you're going to cut the salami, so because it's so large and you don't eat it all in one day, of course, you want to save it. So you just slit it a little bit and just peel back the covering and then save it so that when it's done, you can kind of seal it back to it. And with a little rubber band, you just wrap a rubber band around it, and then that holds it and it maintains it fresh so that your salami won't go bad and you'll have it for longer. Quick tip. This is really hot. I want to cool it off because I'm going to use it, you know, kind of like a dough. Like if it were, you know, like a cornmeal or flour to make your taco shells. So I'm just gonna put it in another thing so it kind of could cool off. But I'm putting a little bit of oil because I wanted it crispy, almost like a tostón, and that is fried plantain. So I'm gonna do it like that. And that's another version that you can do. You don't have to make it like a mangu. You can make it like a tostón, which is that you are going to fry the plantain, and it's like a double fried method. One of these days I'll do a video and teach you guys, or my mom will do a video because she's the authentic Dominican cook. And you can use that fried plantain instead of making it like a tortilla like I'm doing here. So this is what we have. I have parchment paper. I got this contraption on Amazon. I'll link it below. So you guys, it's the inexpensive one that I can find because I was just trying to test it out. And pretty soon I will be upgrading and buying something else, and I'll review it and let you guys know. But this is pretty good for a beginner. if you're gonna start to make tacos or things like that. And that's why I got it, because I started making my own flour tacos and my own corn flour tacos. So with a scooper, I'm gonna scoop it. You're going to place it in the middle. Parchment paper on top. My fire is going a little bit too warm. Press. And there you go. Then skillet. Nice and crisp. That's what you want. That's what you want to get. Nice and crispy. Okay, so my mom here, she is doing all the little garnishes with the avocado, the cilantro, and some cabbage for our taco. Okay, family, are you guys ready for Dominican taco?
Yeah.
Thank you, Mommy, for helping me in the kitchen.
You're welcome.
This was so much fun to do, and especially because I was with my mommy and she helped me. And another thing, we cannot have a Dominican meal and kind of like what we call this, you know, Dominican tacos, but it's kind of like a Dominican lunch. You can't have it without Morir Soñando, and that's daydreaming, and it's really basically orange juice and milk. But the way that we make it at home is that we use condensed milk, and sweetened condensed milk, and orange juice, and you put a little bit of vanilla and a little bit of lemon juice as well, and then nice and cold and icy. So instead of margaritas, we're having Morir Soñando. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure to hit the like button, and don't forget to subscribe and check out some of my other videos. And please share in the comments if you tried this recipe, or what other things can we create and make them Dominican style. I wonder. Bye!